Hello, and welcome to the lesson on surviving pressure from family and friends. Family and social pressure can have a major influence on your food choices, and perhaps you can relate to this on some level already. This is one of the most common hurdles out there, especially when your spouse or your significant other isn't on board with what you're doing. If you're a social person who wants to fit in, you may find it difficult to stick to a plant based diet when you're eating out with your friends, too. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But it's especially difficult when you're surrounded by family members who are eating buckets of chicken and other unhealthy fare. If your family is not supportive of your new diet, they may try to make you feel guilty. They might refuse to assist you with cooking, or they might even get mad at you. And in some cases, I've seen this happen. They try to sabotage your efforts by tempting you back into your old habits. That's why dependency upon your family's approval can easily set you up for failure. Did you get that? If you're depending on your family's approval, you can easily be set up for failure. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the absolute truth. If you realize, though, that peer pressure from family or friends is going to derail you, there are things you can do to address this. The first line of defense should be to have an honest discussion with family members to assure them that they're not under attack and that they won't be forced into eating as you do. That part's really important. Make sure they understand that you're not going to force them into eating as you do. Explain what's motivating you to eat better, ask for their support, and share exactly how they can help you. And then discuss the negotiables. Do you want them to keep their junk food and soda pop stored out of sight? Is that going to help you stay to your diet? Will the shopping and cooking duties be shared? Is the family willing to join you sometimes with what you're eating? And can you agree on some restaurants that will create a dish for you within your new guidelines? Your talk may fall on deaf ears if your partner is not sympathetic or happy about you changing. Assure them once again that you'd love to have them join you once in a while, but they will not be forced to change their diet. If your partner refuses to budge 1 inch in order to support you in any way, or if they're trying to lure you back into your old ways by purposely tempting you with unhealthy foods, there may be a deeper issue going on that may take some exploration. Perhaps they feel challenged or they view your new diet as a threat for some reason. One of the barriers to change that we mentioned early in the course talks about pride or rebellion as a possible barrier, and I've observed that sometimes those with a rebellious attitude are willing to sabotage the health efforts of others, especially their family members. Of course, I'm not suggesting at all that that's what's happening with your spouse. It could be something different. It could be an underlying fear or some type of denial issue, or perhaps they think that what you're doing isn't healthy. Or it could be a myriad of other issues. It will take some deeper digging and conversations to determine why your partner is trying to stop you or prevent you from achieving your health goals. Outside help may even be warranted to get to the root of those issues. If your partner is not willing to budge as far as what they're doing, but they are willing to stay neutral as far as what you're doing, then find some opportunities to share your food whenever possible. There are plenty of plant-based meals and side dishes that people just love. Things like the cheesy broccoli soup and the lasagna roll-ups and the sloppy joes. Make it a priority to include those meals as often as you can, and maybe they'll join in with you. Many new plant eaters do report that it often takes a couple of weeks for the spouse or family members to adjust to their lifestyle. Keep in mind, too, that it's not the end of the world if you find yourself cooking and eating separate meals. You can share portions of the food that fits both of your preferences. A pasta dish with marinara, for example, could be topped with roasted veggies for one and meatballs for the other. A veggie stir fry over rice could be fine for one person and then add chicken strips for the other. You can also get creative with differing burrito styles or tostados, or chili recipes where you add the ground beef separately. Remember again that you do not need your family's support to change your diet. It would be lovely to have their support, but you can succeed on your own, especially if you reach out for support, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Find a supportive local group of like-minded eaters where you can share things and find answers to issues that you may not have considered. When it comes to meeting socially with friends, again, a frank discussion is in order. Tell your friends what you're doing and why, and then ask for their support. See if you can be involved in the restaurant decision-making, and then call the chosen restaurant ahead of time to request a dish with no animal foods or added oils. Restaurants are usually very accommodating and happy to come up with some type of dish, whether it's a rice, bean, potato dish, or a veggie pizza, or a loaded salad. Please don't stop learning all you can about the benefits of whole food plant-based nutrition, because doing so will strengthen your resolve and help keep you motivated. Check out the resource section for a list of DVDs, books, and also places where you can find local and online groups who will support you. There are meetup groups, plant pod groups, and links are provided for those home pages so that you can see if there's a group in your area. Get on the mailing list for the websites that are listed in the resource section so you'll know if any speakers may be coming to your area, or sometimes they host online webinars. The resource section also shows websites where you can find plant-based doctors in your area, and perhaps some of them offer seminars too. Resolve that you will not compromise your health by being bullied into unhealthy eating or being made to feel guilty because you're choosing healthy foods. Your well-being depends on this, and I know of several divided families when it comes to diet, but where there's a will, there's a way. They have figured out solutions, and those solutions vary from one family to the next, but they have figured out how to make it work, and I know that you can too.